What's up, banana bunch? Bunch? Bunch?
Welcome to the Jungle Gyms podcast. What's up, Banana Bunch? You know what time it is. It's time for another episode of the Jungle Gyms podcast. Thanks for joining me. If you are a new person joining for the first time, welcome to the show. We're in the world's largest grocery store, although we prefer the branding international market. We're also the world's largest international market while I'm at it. Pretty crazy. What a time to be alive. Hey, for those of you that have been listening and watching, if you're listening to the audio-only version, thank you so much for your support. And of course, I always like to recommend that if you like to follow along visually, we also release this show on YouTube a couple of hours after the audio version comes out. That way you can watch along. I think it's the way to go. It's a fun time. Now, if you are a longtime listener and watcher of the show, you know this is the part where I usually ask for some reviews. So reviews for podcasts are huge. They are integral to our success. And I know I've been trying to get us over 100 reviews on Apple Podcasts, and we finally broke it. So, of course, now we're on the road to 200. So if you could, go to Apple Podcasts, look us up there. You can type in a short review. It doesn't have to be anything super fancy. You can just be like, I like show. I don't know if you are a caveman watching, but, you know, we welcome all people. Of course, on YouTube, you can just, you know, if you're watching this on YouTube, the thing I always going to ask, and it's my least favorite part of watching YouTube people, but I think it is, again, just a part of the process. So if you are watching this and you like what you're doing and you want us to be successful on YouTube, click the like button, click the subscribe button, and click the little bell so it notifies you when we put out new videos. And of course, if you can just leave a little comment too, it helps the engagement. That's how we become the biggest YouTube show on the planet. And then I'll eat cheese publicly forever. So we've got a great episode coming up this week. And some of you are like, doesn't he say that every week? And the answer is yeah, I'm incredibly confident what we're producing. But I've got two segments I'm really, really hyped about this week. I'll tell you the end one first. So I've been trying to get people to come on and do weird food combos. So this is an opportunity for all of you listening right now. Engage with me. Podcast@junglegyms.com. Tell me about some of your favorite weird food combos, and not something just gross, something that you actually like, that you're like, oh, other people look at me like I'm crazy for trying this, but I'm telling you, it's great. I've gotten a few, emails about this already. I would love to invite you in on the show to try this. So one of my very old friends reached out to me about this when he saw this and was like, hey, I want to make a sandwich with you that is very unorthodox. So I had him try something that was viral on TikTok, thanks to musical recording artist Lizzo. It's a lot of fun. Looking forward to it. But burying the lead here, you can see behind me, I'm standing at our charcuterie deli. And a lot of people don't know this. I'm going to even call out my friend Mallory, who is an avid Jungle Gym shopper, hangs out in the cheese shop often, and even the other day when I mentioned this, she was like, I didn't even know you had a charcuterie deli. So yeah, we've got our huge deli, we've got our huge cheese shop, and a big part of it is this deli. So we have all kinds of fancy meats and great stuff. The charcuterie boards, that's like the new hip thing. If you're on Instagram or Pinterest or all that stuff, people are all over it. You can try all kinds of stuff from all over the world, like here. Oh, look at this. From Black Castle, a little charcuterie trio. So we've got a mustard seed salami, Old Forest salami, and D'Amour salami. And of course, there's all kinds of other things. So I teamed up with one of our, well, we're calling him now the cheese deity, Jacob, who you met a couple weeks back when we had Urbanstead on the show. And Jacob brought out one of our big suppliers here. They're called North Country Charcuterie. They're based just out of Columbus, and we got to try some fun stuff, and I'm going to tell you all about it right now. Everyone, you know what I always love to hold meat up to the camera if available, so I've got an exciting segment for you here. And today, joining me in the WJJI studio, we've got the cheese deity returning again. Jake, welcome back, buddy. Appreciate you.
Sir.
And thanks for setting this up for me today.
Anytime.
But maybe more importantly, we're bringing Duncan from North Country Charcuterie today. Hi, Duncan. Welcome to the show.
Hi. Thanks for being here.
Oh, well, I'm trying to be. I live here now.
Yeah, good. Yeah. My title, it's not as good as his, but my title is Salami Monger.
I love that. Actually, I kind of think that might be better.
I'm slightly jealous.
Yeah. I want more monger titles in my life. I feel like that's something we should all be aspiring to. Well, before we get lost in all of my terrible jokes, tell me a little bit about North Country.
All right, wonderful. Well, yeah, thanks again for having me here. North Country Charcuterie is a family-owned business in Columbus, Ohio. It's me and my brother and our mom in business together.
Oh, cool.
Yes, my brother was a chef in Columbus for about 10 years before we started the company, and kind of gained an interest in cured meats along the way. Some guys brew beer at home or smoke meats, and he actually started to cure meats at home. So he bought a refrigerator off of Craigslist for about $150 and converted that into a drying chamber in his mudroom.
Yeah.
And was just kind of dabbling, making salami and other cured meats. At the time, he was working with a chef that also was gaining an interest in it. And fast forward a few years and started the company in April of 2014.
That's amazing. Well, almost 10 years in the game now.
Getting close to it. Yeah, I mean, year one it was, recipe development, figuring out
Of course.
like what's going
Like
on.
most good things, right?
Yeah, and well, truthfully, a few years, fast forward. But so James, my brother, who's the salami swami. And
All right, he has the best title. Yep. We've all been
So
shut
many
down.
titles being
I love
Yeah.
it. They're all part of the salami squad.
Yeah. You ruined my punchline.
I'm so sorry. Here, wait. We can edit around it. We can edit around it.
That's
I didn't
all
say
right.
it.
No,
No.
but the better title is our mother, Jane. She's the salami mama.
Oh, that's good too.
Yeah.
I like Salami Mama. I'm here for Swami though.
okay.
Your mom sounds lovely. Don't get me wrong.
And then together we're the salami squad.
I love it. I obviously can see on the back of your shirt that you've
Yes,
got
that's
that.
right.
But I feel like you all need like superhero costumes now, like salami adjacent, cured meat superhero costumes.
What
I'll
could
work on a
we
cape.
use? Because the S is taken. So what do
Yeah.
we use instead? Double S or?
Yeah, I mean, you could do double S. You could just honestly, maybe you go no letters and we just do some sort of creative take on one of the meats. Like you could just have, instead it's just like the badge logo, but it's marbled like the meat
Like
is.
meat, yeah,
Like you
nice,
just
okay.
literally take this Brezziola, right? Did I pronounce it right?
Close enough.
Good
yeah.
enough,
I think
yeah.
we're not. We're in the United States. We're gonna butcher all the.
Yeah, we're like,
names.
it's a Brezziola, whatever. No, but that's my take. I'll send a mock up later and see what you
Okay,
all
got
think.
it. Love it.
Maybe this is a dumb question, but can you explain to me like what curing meats is?
Yeah, I mean, it's been done for hundreds, thousands of years. I mean, at the bare bones is it's a meat preservation method, and
Okay.
really you're just adding salt to meat to dehydrate it to preserve it. And so then if instead of having fresh meat, in the summertime, or like if you want to have meat throughout the whole year, then you can like I said, add salt and dehydrate it and make it safe to eat. We have a way of overcomplicating it and making it more, but I think that's fundamentally what it is. And the word charcuterie is a French word, and the direct translation is cooked flesh.
Oh, lovely. That is honestly even more appetizing.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Yeah, and that comes out of the garde-manger kitchen in French cuisine of using the whole animal, because it, and long ago we'd get a whole hog in, and then use every bit of it. And the garde-manger part, would make pâtés and terrines and other cured meats and things like that. After maybe using some of the fresh meat for sausages or pork chops or what have roasts or what have you.
That's amazing. Yeah, see, I didn't know that. I love it. I always love those explain it like I'm 5 questions on the show because I'm just like, maybe none of you knew that
Yeah.
too. I definitely didn't. I'll be the idiot if you guys are too afraid to ask.
And it's in some ways it's the same thing with cheese. Cheese you could say is a way to preserve milk.
Right.
And so then they extend the shelf life of milk.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know more about cheese.
Oh,
Maybe
I mean,
I'm-
it's
maybe
just
I'm-
like the biggest factor people don't think about in our department is that time affects all of our product more than anything and makes it better.
In the good way. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
At first I'm like time effects. I was like, oh
the
gosh.
amount of time
Yeah.
that you let something like the flavors change every single day
That's so cool.
on
and it is
every
some-
single product, like cheese and meat wise, like when you're curing it, aging it, like that's what's the fascinating part because day to day it's going to taste different.
Wow.
For sure, yeah. I mean, and with that in mind, I mean, the Bresaola that you first held up, that takes 3 to 4 months to age, and all of our products generally lose about 50% of their moisture weight. So these salamis that we sell at Jungle Gyms are all 4-ounce net weight, but they actually start out closer to 9 ounces of fresh meat. But through that aging, dehydration, then that's what you're concentrating the flavor. That's then the actual sellable product is about half the weight.
That's super cool. See? I had no idea.
Yeah.
Thanks for educating me.
Yeah,
guys.
I mean, that's
appreciate
one
it.
of the reasons too that cured meats appear to be so much more expensive than fresh is that our input is 9 ounces, but then the finished product is 4. It's like, well, we still have to pay for the
Right.
the input side. It's not like we're just cutting at 50% and then there you go.
Right. No, and I think when you made the comment about the flavors concentrating, it is kind of like meat concentrate, for lack of a better description, right?
Yeah.
Because you're getting like a more potent flavor, rich, and it's not just the curing process, right? I mean, obviously, I know, and we were discussing off air, and we can dive into it in a minute, but I know you're adding other like flavors and things to it that really are making it something special.
Yeah. In fact, when we've just we take our recipes and make them as a fresh sausage just out of curiosity. They're quite bland because the spices that we put in, we're relying on that dehydration, and so then again concentrating the flavor, and so then it's a totally different product.
That's really cool. Yeah, see, that seems so interesting to me. It'd be fun to do a side by side of that at some point too, to be like, all right, here's regular, here's
Right.
But that's interesting.
Yeah, in fact, like
a future
the chorizo,
episode.
The chorizo that you guys carry of our fresh chorizo, it's actually the same spice ratios as this.
Yeah,
but way more to get way more flavor.
Interesting. Oh, that's so cool. Well, I'm excited to try all that too. I got to ask, and maybe this is a good Jake question. Tell me the story, like what's been your experience getting into Jungle Gyms, or how'd you find them, Jake?
So it was before me. It's been about 4 years now. Like on and off?
Yeah,
4 or
I'm trying
5.
to think. So the story, maybe I'm not to be selfish, is a little more maybe interesting on my end, because I what I remember from getting into Jungle Gyms was I had a really bad sales day, maybe even a week or a month, I'm not sure.
Sure.
And, I just was like closed door after closed door after closed door. And then, so I was like feeling like just, maybe a little frustrated for sure, and maybe a little ornery. So I randomly hopped on, I was like one evening, hopped on Jungle Gym's website, and there was just like a random contact us link.
Yeah.
So I shot off an email, it's like after dinner in the evening, and lo and behold, the next day, I heard from Brad Hacker, the former head of cheese and charcuterie, saying like, "Yeah, come on in, love to try." And I was like, "What?
Yeah,
that worked."
The best. That's how a good love story starts.
So I came in. It was knowing me, is probably like the next day. I was like, "Oh, cool, I'll be there tomorrow."
Yeah.
And met with Brad, and he's like, yeah, this sounds great, because at the time we were actually the only artisan cured meat company in the state of Ohio.
Oh, no kidding. Amazing.
And there's now 1 or 2 others. In the time we've been in business, actually 7 or 8 have tried to start and since gone out of business. And we can get into some of those details later if we want, or some of it's kind of boring too. But I had actually, never even been to Jungle Gyms before. I had heard about Jungle Gyms.
Yeah.
No, that's not true. I had been here before. I used to work for a wine distributor, and so I had been to the back door.
Right. Close enough. It's part of the.
Yeah. So I deliver
not quite
wine.
The same visual experience.
Yeah. So I deliver a wine, and so I heard, and then I remember I popped through, like, check it out, like, wow, this is crazy. This is an amazing store. Like, I'd love to work with these guys. And and so I think you're right that it was
2018.
2017, 2018, somewhere in there, and then it's been off and on since then, and then just kind of really restarted and kickstarted things. We're having a lot of fun. We were doing hired a local woman to do different in-store demos. So we've been doing a lot of those, both at the Fairfield and Eastgate location, and those are always a lot of fun because it's such demos are such an important part of our products selling anything, but especially ours. Like, they're a little bit more expensive. They do require kind of that intimate selling experience. Like, you got to try it before you buy it, and so we really try to work. And Jungle Gym is such a great partner to allow for demos. And now that the pandemic is where it is.
Right. Exactly. Is it
We're in our
over?
rainbow right now.
And demos are allowed. We're excited. It's great to have it going again.
You make a great point about that, and that is twofold. Honestly, I love, and I'll say this directly to you in the audience, that contact us form here is very powerful. If you don't know this, Jungle Gyms, we are independently owned. We're a family-owned business, so like you really can at least get our attention that way. I, as somebody who receives emails that are relevant to me that way every so often,
There's
I'm
not a lot of go-between in between that contact us page and then who it gets to.
Right.
I feel like one person, there's like, I think this person deals with it, send it to them.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, at worst, it goes to the wrong person once, and they're like, actually, that's Jake email, send it to him. Yeah, and the same thing. And by the way, I love that about that. And it's fun to me because I mean, I want to learn about new stuff, and I think our customer base rather are exactly those type of people who get excited about that kind of thing. So I'm glad that worked for you.
Yeah.
And I already lost my second half of the thought because I got so excited about
maybe
laughing.
something about trying before you buy.
Oh yeah, trying before you buy the demo thing. Thank you so much. Yeah, and the demos are huge because I think that's again we are as a brand I think trying to always encourage people to try new stuff and try things out. And like I can see that with certain price points and things being like maybe I won't wing it on this, but when you try that stuff, it's insane to me to see how like instantly people turn around. They're like, "Oh, that is good. Yeah, you know what? I am gonna try this."
Yeah.
So
yeah, because even before like anyone can hear the story or anything, but once they taste it, that story means a little bit more to them.
Yeah.
So they feel a bit more connection to the product. I think for sure.
Oh, I totally agree with that. It's been really cool to see more demos happening. I'd like to see even
Yeah.
more demos happening, to be totally honest with you. You know, my real secret goal of taking this job was just to eat my way through the store every day at lunch. So we're getting close. I'm just going to have to start coming in more Saturdays. Okay, so Duncan, talk to me about the product line here. Obviously, you brought a lot of stuff, and there's a beautiful charcuterie tray. Sorry, I'm like blowing it. There's a beautiful cooked flesh tray in front of me. So walk me through some of the stuff maybe that you brought or some of the things that you're just generally proud of.
Totally, yeah. So something that's important to know is that we source 95% of our ingredients from within a 2-hour drive of our production facility in Columbus. You know, since the founding of our company, we've always prioritized working with Ohio farms and being cognizant of the sustainability of our company as well. Because once you get under the distribution side, you know, it's hard to really control the sustainability. So, you know, also during the pandemic, you know, we were able to maintain all of our supply chains because of sourcing local. You know, the furthest ingredient is wine in our number one salami, which is in Northeast Ohio, which technically is like 2.5-hour drive, but you know
We're close.
Yeah,
Under three.
Under three. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's still local enough.
Yeah. So that's an important aspect. You know, we're sourcing 95% of our ingredients from within Ohio. I'll start with the number one salami. So this is the I don't know, which camera am I looking at?
That's you right there. That's the Duncan cam.
The Duncan cam.
Yeah.
Our number one salami, yellow label. It's mixed with cheese, Chardonnay, sage, garlic, and black pepper. The cheese comes from Blue Jacket Dairy. The sage and garlic we chop up fresh for each batch, and then the Chardonnay is from Debonais Vineyards in Northeast Ohio. It's called number one because it was our first recipe. It's also become our top seller. So you know we've got a variety of different salami and then dry cured chorizo as well, colorfully labeled. They all kind of correspond to some of the ingredients in there. So that's our number one salami, and that's on the charcuterie board that we'll try here in a minute. Another product that we're really proud of is our Jaguera spreadable chorizo.
Yeah.
This was a runner-up to for a National Food Award, part of the Good Food Awards. It's a Spanish recipe that we've adapted called sobrasada.
Okay.
It originates from the island of Majorca. It's made with paprika, chipotle, garlic, and cayenne. We were mentioning before, like the demos on demo day. This is our top seller.
Yeah,
I bet for
because
sure.
it's a unique product. It's got great flavor.
Yeah.
It's hot, but it's not going to light you on fire.
Right.
And it's got a good kick to it. It's also our most versatile cured meat, where you can cook with it. It's great with seafood, mussels, clams. Things
I didn't
like
even
that.
think of that. That sounds delicious.
Great with eggs.
Oh yeah, that sounds good too.
Yeah, it's such a high fat content that a little bit goes a long way too. You don't need a whole lot of it. And then another product to mention that's really fun, and it comes in two forms depending on the store, is our herbed Wagyu bresaola. So we've got pre-sliced packages here, and then the whole muscle that you had showed off before. Yeah, and we won a National Food Award for this product that we're really proud of. So we take Ohio raised Wagyu beef from Sakura Farms, do a dry cure of juniper, rosemary, thyme, salt and pepper, and then ages for about 3 months, and then we sell it. Yeah, and that whole muscle that's at delis, you can slice that up. Sometimes at restaurants, and then in the pre-sliced packages as well.
It looks awesime. I'm
It's
very
insane.
excited to dive into
So
that.
good.
Yeah, it sounds crazy.
And then something we launched at the beginning of the pandemic were fresh sausages. So we've got a wide variety of them. We stuck with some traditional hot Italian, Mexican style chorizo, and also tried to have some fun with the recipes. My favorite is our northern Thai style Sayowa sausage.
That one's so cool.
That sounds really good.
Really
Yeah.
tasty. Yeah, it's available for sale here at Jungle Jim's. It's in linked form. It's made with lemongrass, red curry, lime leaf, soy sauce, tamari. So It's gluten free,
Right.
Yeah.
And that's killer. Like if you like Thai food or just kind of generally Asian food flavors,
That sounds incredible.
Really fun.
Oh my gosh, I mean, you just made me a lifelong customer.
Didn't have a chance.
I mean,
to,
already, and I haven't tried anything. I'm like,
Yeah.
that sausage. I mean, everything looks amazing. I knew I was going to love it, but that sounds very unique and interesting, and that's right up my alley.
Didn't have a chance to cook it up, but we did cook up some of our coffee bacon.
Cool.
Which we sell at Jungle Gyms. It's made. We use hot raised pork belly, do a dry cure of coffee, brown sugar,
Oh, that
salt
sounds
and pepper.
delicious. I'm just going to dive into
Yeah,
a piece.
go for it. Yeah, why not?
Talk to me as I smile.
That's right. Yeah, so the coffee flavor is not super strong, but it just kind of adds the overall flavor. I'll join you.
Oh,
and
yeah.
have a little bit.
Yeah, please.
And then something that's unique about this bacon versus more commercial bacon is we dehydrate it. So we're curing it.
Oh, interesting.
And as opposed to a lot of places will use a brine. So the moisture content is actually increasing.
Right.
We're decreasing the moisture content. So your shrink on this bacon is going to be quite a bit less than more kind of commercial bacon.
And I like the texture better. I mean, as silly as that sounds, but it's got like a better chew.
It's meatier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
For sure.
And I love that, like that little bit of sweet and that little bit of that coffee flavor comes through just enough to let you know it's like just knocking at the back door, you know?
Yeah.
I love that. That's amazing. What a great start to my Wednesday.
Yeah, here's an Ohio Proud
Thank
napkin
you.
if you'd like one.
Yes, I would like to wipe my hands on
Thank you,
Ohio. They were made in Ohio too. That's really funny.
Well, Ohio Proud is part of the Department of Agriculture. And that's actually like a marketing thing with the
Of course it is.
Sorry,
That's
you
so
knew
cool.
that already.
No. I was saying, of course it is, as in like it's a marketing thing. I'm like, yeah, I'm on to you, Ohio.
What else can we put Ohio Proud on?
Yeah, an astronaut probably. I think that's our other export here. You know,
is.
that's
Yeah.
amazing. So I know you'd mentioned one of your favorites there. Do you have a favorite in the salamis too?
Like
on the picking your favorite kid?
Itself, yeah, that's harder. There's such a variation. It really
Right.
kind of depends. But I mean, if I really were to choose, it'd be this Jaguera spreadable chorizo. You know, that's I guess we kind of view that as like our part of our salami family.
It counts.
Yeah.
It's such a unique flavor and such a just great flavor, truly.
Yeah, I'm excited about that.
Yeah, so we can dive in too.
Let's do it.
I don't want to keep you from it, so
No,
we can start with the.
How dare you?
Yeah,
I did think it was weird that you started building a small wall around the plate throughout the interview. It's a little toasted bread crack.
That's right. Yeah, here I could turn it a little bit.
Yeah,
Then you get
exactly.
the number one salami. Like I said, it's the yellow label mixed with cheese, Chardonnay, sage, garlic, and black pepper. Help yourself.
Sure. Thank
Dive
you.
in. We're family
just
here.
eat it straight up, right?
To get the flavor for sure. I mean, I think what's fun when you get crackers and cheese on there. I usually like to almost build like
Make
a
a-
little
make a little
sandwich.
I'm into it.
Right.
Yeah.
But we gotta dive in
But
first.
for this, let's have it just by itself.
Oh yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
You got, and it's like, you know what I love too about it is, you know, often I think when I hear curing and I think about the salt process, I'm always like, how salty is it going to be? You don't get that. You get that. You really get that. The wine note comes through pretty noticeably.
Yeah.
That's delicious.
Thank you. Yeah, and I mean, as far as flavors go, you know, that's really a testament to my brother James, the salami swami.
Yes, the salami swami. Thank you.
He's a master of subtlety. You know, he doesn't want one flavor to dominate the whole thing. He wants everything, every ingredient to have its own, you know, showtime or airtime
Sure.
or whatever. And so you can get all of it: the garlic, the sage, and
Yeah.
the cheese and the wine. Throughout
beautiful.
each
Yeah,
bite.
it's super clean.
It's-
It comes through so clearly. Yeah.
It's like balanced. I feel like that's
Yeah.
one of those words that gets used on a chef show. You know,
Sure,
You're like
totally
balanced.
balanced. Yeah,
But it is like,
What
yeah, because
buzzword can we put in?
there it is. You hit it.
I just want to use
Yeah,
those
that one's-
buzzwords poorly in front of chefs just to see how they react and not refer to them by chef first. Anyway, no, I'm kidding. I respect the craft. That was
And-
beautiful.
Thank you. So then we'll move into the middle. This is the herb wagyu brasola.
and the little rose here.
Yeah, that's become a thing on Instagram. You know, making salami roses, or this is a
you do that
brasola
with the
rose.
cup, right?
Yeah, I put on
Yeah.
the cup, and what works is if you could take if you bought this whole package, you could drape that over a cup, and then usually if you let it sit there for a little bit, let it warm up, then you get that flavor.
Oh man, that's insane.
It's so good.
Whoa. You ever eat something that you only take one bite and you're like, I should not bite more of this because it's only going to have less each time I come back to it?
Yeah, yeah. No, this
Oh
is.
my. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to lose it here. I'm breaking character.
I'll stop
No,
there.
please.
No,
Yeah.
go for it.
No,
Keep-
please.
do we
That's
need to
amazing.
cut?
No.
Do we need to
Yeah,
break?
exactly. Did anyone bring cigarettes?
If we just all
Don't
three of us
smoke,
lit a
kids.
cigarette right now, it'd be appropriate. It's that
Can
good.
you? It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously. I'm glad we can just have this moment together.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, glad they're here.
That is insane. Oh my gosh, the flavor on that is unbelievable. It's rich and oh man.
Thank you. I'm glad you like it. No,
Yeah.
I mean, we're really proud of this one. James really did a phenomenal job, and it took several years to dial in the recipe the way we wanted it, and also to find the supplier that we wanted too.
Sure.
And so now we got a great relationship with Sakura Wagyu Farms, and we're really thrilled with how this has all come out, and it's being well received for sure.
Yeah, I can see why. That's insane. Oh my gosh. So I gotta ask, how do you eat the spreadable?
That's where we do need a cracker.
Okay. That's, I was
or
guessing that.
you could just get a spoon and
Yeah, exactly. I was like,
for
as
it.
much as I'd like to learn that that's a thing, I feel like that puts
Yeah.
my body and heart in the wrong
Yeah.
timeline.
So,
maybe
I'll,
a cracker's
if
the
you
move.
don't mind, I'll help you.
Please,
since
yeah.
I can't find. I don't
No,
know
I
what
would. I
the
hate
spoon
embarrassing
is, but-
myself.
So I'm just gonna get a little bit here for you,
Okay.
and then you can give that a try. Those crackers are really fun. Those are actually made by a local
cool.
baker in Columbus.
Oh, do I see a little fig in there? Maybe
There's fig and almond,
Almonds?
and yes, they're doing a really nice job here.
that's beautiful. I'm
Jacob,
gonna.
I'll
I'll
help
take a
you
little
too.
bite without the cracker first. And
Oh,
then-
sure, yeah. Because well,
Thank
in
you.
some, that's a good idea. So you can get just the flavor of the.
I'm mad I didn't know about you guys before this email chain started. To be honest with you,
Well, we're here now.
you nailed it on the heat on this too. Excuse me, as I'm gonna cough now.
It usually gets you in the back.
Yeah, but it's a great. It's like the flavor's awesome. Again, it's enough heat to be like, "Hi, I'm here," but it's not going to ruin your day by any stretch of the imagination. Ooh, that's awesome. All right, how's it pair with the cracker?
The crackers are good.
Oh yeah, and that little bit of sweetness from the fig and the almond in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's amazing.
and these are our go-to crackers.
Wow.
They also make these Parmesan Tuscan flatbread crackers. They're killer. They only
That sounds
sell
amazing.
them at farmers markets and locally. In Columbus. I mean, they might sell them in Jungle Gyms. I don't know. I mean,
Right.
You gave them a call, and I don't know if they'd say no.
Yeah, we're gonna need
If they
some
get
more
that
crackers.
contact
But-
page.
Right.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, but that's a fun.
Hopefully,
story.
they're podcast fans.
Husband and wife, and they've got a couple set of twins, and they sell the crackers at the farmers market. Although some of their wholesale business has picked up, and the kids have gotten a little older, so they scaled back. But yeah,
Oh my gosh.
some other items to. Oh, sorry.
No, please. I was just
I just
saying-
wanted to point out, so,
Yeah.
we partner with so many Ohio makers, and some to point out, like as far as assembling a charcuterie board too, it's nice to have some sweetness. You mentioned with the crackers as well. Like so, this is a nice apricot jam made by foraged and sown in Columbus. This is a mustard made by Old Brooklyn Mustards out of Cleveland that you said is also available, or what some of their mustards
The
available?
caviar style.
Okay, yes, another mustard that's really
So
killer
good.
that they make.
Yeah.
And then local pride here with Street Ched from Urbanstead.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. We just
They-
had them on recently.
And was it before or after they were silver medalists? At
It was
the
right
They won,
after,
like,
right?
It was like
Oh.
2 days after.
Yeah.
we
Oh,
recorded
nice.
with
Okay.
them.
Perfect
so Andrea
timing.
was
Yeah.
probably stoked.
She's hyped. Yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh.
So we work closely with them. They carry our products at their store, and then we do some e-commerce with them and sell that paired with our salami and yeah, phenomenal cheese that we can try here in a minute.
That's amazing. Yeah. Well, I'm ready if you are. Let's go for it.
Yeah,
you
let's
know?
try. Yeah, so
We'll give them a little secret
Here.
shout out on the end. Thank you,
yeah,
Duncan.
good. Yeah, no, it's a really great cheese that they make,
Oh yeah.
and it pairs it's so well with all of our products too.
I blew through all the stuff she gave me, but I hadn't opened the Street Ched break yet. So, thank you, Andrea.
Yeah, the ched is so good.
I mean, all of it was. Are you
Yeah.
kidding me? The little, oh my gosh, I'm not even going to dive in. I'm just going to embarrass myself. So it's a production facility. Do you all do, like, if can people go to your location and sample things? Is that a weird question?
It's not a weird question. We don't have a retail presence at the production facility. Something we'd love to do long term, but it hasn't been a focus of ours. We've been focused way more on the production side of things.
Sure.
We sell in Columbus at farmers markets, so that's kind of our retail, and then people can buy from our website. But we've more relied on kind of the traditional method of production, and then working with great retailers like Jungle Gyms to sell our products.
Well, thank you. I always love when everybody gives a little smooch to the jungle on that.
Oh yeah, no.
I'm like,
I
no,
mean,
thank you. It's really cool. I mean, everybody seems genuinely excited about it. I didn't mean it.
Yeah.
I'm just silly and weird. I don't mean
I
anything
talk
negative
about
by
Jungle
it.
Gyms all the time.
It's a cool
I'm
place.
serious. Like when someone new moves to Columbus, I tell our staff too. Like take a trip you gotta go see Jungle Jim's.
Yeah.
You go check out this place. It's wild. It's so
Well, we
much
can
fun.
get some delicious products while we're
That's
at
right,
it too. That's
yeah.
so cool.
That's right. Yeah. So the production facility. Well, I didn't go into this before, but I'll do a little bit. So my brother had the drying chamber at his house, and then there's a couple different food business incubators around Columbus where we got started. So we worked under state inspection there, selling locally to stores and restaurants, and then at farmers markets, and then expanded across the state. Started working with Jungle Jim's and other places across the state. And then at the beginning of 2018, we sort of graduated from the food business incubator, opened up our own production facility, which actually was a former ice cream facility. It was actually Jenny's Ice Cream original production facility. And because they moved out. It wasn't the one with Listeria, for those listeners that have known Jenny's for a while. Awesome company. I love Jenny's. But
they had a few rough things happen.
Patch, but it's honestly a stronger, better company now.
Sure.
Afterwards, and way bigger. Anyhow, we moved into their old spot and used it as an opportunity to get USDA inspection, so we're allowed to sell outside of Ohio.
Oh, perfect.
And we actually have a USDA meat inspector that visits our facility daily.
Amazing.
Something that maybe people don't know about meat processing. That's not unique to us. They show up every day. A lot of paperwork. And then expanded regionally and then also across the country. At different times over the last few years, we had distribution in all across the Midwest, down into the Southeast, DC area, and out in California for a little while. A lot of that's been shuffled around since the pandemic, but we're still solid in the Midwest and the Southeast. And then we've got a mail order business and working with a couple other e-wholesalers shipping all across the country.
That's super cool. Well, Duncan, this has been really cool. I'm really glad you came down. If you're ever up for it, we occasionally will leave the studio to do some on-site stuff. So,
love
I don't know if that is ever a thing you'd be interested in.
For sure, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, so you asked about tours too. So, if someone reaches out on our contact us form, we might. Well, I'll respond for sure. It comes to my email.
Family and business. So we get it. Yeah.
Just as little.
There
are
occasions
where, pre-pandemic, we did quite a few tours. It's not like a scheduled thing. It's just like kind of case by case basis.
Yeah.
But yeah, that'd be a lot of fun to have you guys up there. We can show you the production facility, the kitchen, and then in the drying room too. That's I think what certainly the most interesting.
Sure.
We see where the meat's hanging.
Yeah, we're literally where the sausage is made.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Anytime I can use that expression,
You
literally,
can see some of our
excited.
R&D products.
Oh.
The secret meat closet.
Oh, the secret meat closet. Weird. I have one of those at home too.
Yeah, but if we do want to do a follow up to this,
I would love that.
Happy to have you guys up there.
That'd be really cool.
Great.
Well, thanks so much, Duncan. I really appreciate it.
For sure. Thank
I
you.
appreciate it. And Jake, as always, thanks for making this happen.
Hey, anytime.
And I'm going to shout that out to other managers here in the company. Be like Jake. If you are buying something, and seriously, if you're buying something cool and you think it needs recognition, you should reach out to me. And same for you people that sell products. Literally, everybody just email me, podcast@junglegyms.com. I want to find out about your products, predominantly ones we already carry here in the store. But, I want to learn about new stuff. I want to tell everybody about new stuff. So reach out to all of us. And again, I mean that for real, managers. I know some of you watch this show. Hit me up. I can help. All right. On that, thanks again for your time, guys. And let's pretend like we're not going to crush this board as soon as the cameras go
hold
off.
back. That's right.
Tube seaweed flakes. Look at this weird little guy. Hey, you know what? Speaking of weird little guys, my buddy Adam, who you'll hear me call Steiny a bunch of times, has made this thing he calls the Steiny sandwich over the years. He's been telling me for 20 years. So when I started reaching out to people to say, hey, what's that weird food combination that everybody looks at you like you're crazy for eating? He was one of the first people that came to mind, and he was one of the only people who agreed to do it that didn't get COVID and had to reschedule. So for those of you out there that are, I hope you've recovered well. It was a nightmare. And if you'd like to, I really want to reschedule those. So I know I've reached out to some of you, but if anyone else is out there listening is like, oh my gosh, I eat this thing and my family looks at me like I'm crazy for doing it. I want to try it with you on the show and I'd love to have you in, or at the very least, if you want to just tell me what it is, I'll try it alone. If you're a little camera shy, I totally get it. But send those to me at podcast@junglegyms.com. So I was inspired by this after Lizzo was doing some TikToks about putting yellow mustard on watermelon. So I said, hey, I'll try your sandwich if you'll try Lizzo's watermelon combination. So don't let me yammer about this any longer. Meet my pal Steiny and see this nightmare concoction that he's made. This is a segment I've been wanting to do since I think May. I've been reaching out forever, and I had a few of you agree to do it, and then a bunch of people got COVID. It's been a wild ride, to put it mildly, but I've got a friend of the show here joining me in studio tonight, and we are going to try some off the beaten path food combinations. Why don't you introduce yourself first?
Hi, I'm Adam Steinbrenner, and I've been a friend of Mark's for ages. We actually went to high school together.
And, well, I'll call you by your real name for the sake of the internet here. So, unless, I call it the Steiny cam underneath, but
it's all good.
Well, Adam, you have been talking about this one dish, I feel like, since we were in high school. And it's one of those things that I have to mention. This was invented not under any sort of substance or anything like that. Adam's a straight arrow, a very, very clean guy. And I found this really interesting. So before we did that, though, what I wanted to do was take the original viral strange food pairing that I'd seen online. I'm sure other things have been paired in an odd way before, but this came from Lizzo, the musician. I didn't bring my flute with me, but I did bring, she mixed yellow mustard and watermelon. Now, as I understand it, Adam, you are not really a big watermelon fan.
No, I'm not, but this might be an actual improvement. So we'll see.
Let's try it, okay? I'm in. We can take our first bite together. I'm thinking I'm going mustard side down on the tongue. All right. Ooh, already. Oh, you got a little smiley face on your plate? I like it. Look at that. Yeah. All right, here we go. Okay, I can kind of see what she was going for in that it's like a little vinegar, a little sweet. I'm going to eat it all so it's off my plate. So I love watermelon, but I typically don't love yellow mustard. I think there's too many great mustards out there in the world to go with the classic yellow. I wouldn't go so far as to say it's good, but it's interesting.
I'd probably eat this.
You would eat that?
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of where I'm at with it. It's not my favorite thing. It doesn't replace my love of regular watermelon, but it does. It replaces. It's making me like yellow mustard a little bit more.
I definitely would say that this is definitely an improvement. If you don't like watermelon at all, try it with mustard.
Try it with mustard.
Yep.
What a sentence. Okay, are you going to eat that last bite? Yeah, let's do it.
Why not?
Look longingly into the camera for me while you eat it. That's going on TikTok. Well, I think we cannot bury the lead on this one, Steiny. Why don't you tell us the sandwich that you'd like to make today, and maybe how it came about?
So I can't remember exactly how old I was, but I want to say I was probably around the age of becoming a teenager, 12, maybe 13. My parents were out for the afternoon, and it may have been during the summer, and I wanted something to eat, didn't want necessarily just peanut butter and jelly. I don't think I was confident enough to use the stove to cook a grilled cheese sandwich because I know something probably would have happened. So I decided, okay, well, what do we've got? And I saw that there was a couple of Arby's sauce packets in the drawer. I saw a slice of cheese. We definitely had the peanut butter. I was like, oh, that might be interesting. I thought, well, what if I combine the whole together? And
I'm interested.
So that's kind of what started this.
That's amazing. And you have been, I got to be honest with everybody, Adam's been telling me this for years that it's good. He swears it's good. And there's that part of me that, like so many of these kinds of creations, like mustard and watermelon, right? It's not the first thing that comes to mind when you're thinking about a food combo, right? But at the same time, it does sound, on paper, there's part of me that's like, okay, you get the bread element, you get like kind of the like the salty protein in the peanut butter, and you get the cheese element, which, I think I talked recently on the show about how American cheese is just sort of like creamy salt goo, so it doesn't really have a specific flavor. So there is part of me that thinks that this might be delicious, but then there's also part of me that thinks that I'm incredibly glad I have immediate access to a trash can just in case. So, well,
it was cheesy, tangy, sweet, and spicy.
Yeah, it's that famous cooking book, like Cheesy, Tangy, Sweet, and Spicy.
Exactly. Yep, exactly.
I'm so excited to do this. I'm so glad that we have a function. I am not joking when I say it's been at least 20 years. We're going to do this one of these days. And then now I just happen to have a popular food podcast so we can describe it. So you had a couple specific requests I'll go through. And everything we were able to get at Jungle Gyms except for one item, although at some point pre-pandemic it may have been available here, but I'll just run down the list. Are we using creamy or crunchy before I say it out loud?
Creamy.
Creamy. Okay. Well, I had both just in case. All right. So we're going to use a nice white bread. We've got a layer of creamy peanut. And am I doing the correct layering too?
Yes.
All right. Bread, creamy peanut butter. I'm sorry. I can't stop. Creamy peanut butter, slice of American cheese, and I'm assuming Arby's sauce goes on the other side of the bread, right?
Well, you kind of put it in between, and I smush it together with the cheese and the peanut butter.
Honestly, I think maybe we should watch you make this one first, if that's okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to get a little extra angle on this, too, just to be safe, because I really want to see you add those layers. So, Steiny, why don't we get started here? We got the nice bread already ready to go. So we'll first up the peanut butter?
Yeah.
Spread it up.
So
Walk me through this creative process, Stein Fieri.
So if I can remember, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was probably on at the time. And I was digging that and Shredder and listening to Bebop and Rocksteady going at it. So
That's right, boss. You got to talk like that because I'm pretty sure that's what they sounded like.
I can't do the voices.
No, me either. They're making turtle soup. I know they didn't say turtle properly. That's for sure.
So what you want to do is make sure you got enough peanut butter on both sides. You don't have to go too thick.
Okay. See, I was already at a loss for that. I didn't realize that we were going 2 sides of peanut butter.
Yeah.
Let me get a little tighter on that. Oh, yeah. It's looking good. Okay. We got an even spread here. And then I'm going to try. That's beautiful. Look at that little face. Okay, so peanut butter up first. I'll do mine when you're all done. I'll do a quick pause so I can catch up.
So the next step really is you want your Arby's sauce packet.
Okay.
And, you can drizzle a little bit
my
on there
gosh.
like this.
Somebody's watching this right now just like, I can't believe this is a thing. Oh, yeah. Yeah, just put that sauce right on there, Steinman.
Yep.
Oh, my gosh. It looks horrible. Actually, that's a bit of a lie. Right now, it looks like you made a peanut butter and strawberry jelly sandwich. And yeah, but one of those in my nightmares. Now, I went classic Land O'Lakes, yellow American. I thought the color would really add a little zhuzh to this. Smart. Okay. So, I thought you were going to have some sort of special cheese placement, to be honest with you.
No, not really.
Now, anything else? Are you going to use your fork to evenly spread the Arby's sauce out or anything like that?
Nah.
Okay.
Smash it together.
All right, let me make mine real fast.
All right.
Can't believe we're doing this. I'm just going to pull the clip from Mr. Show where they're making the peanut butter, eggs, and dice sandwich.
What's wrong, Bob? You get another weird sandwich?
Leave him alone.
I think this one is peanut butter, an egg, dice.
Isn't that a sponge in there?
Yeah.
Well, everyone, this is the moment of truth. This is something that has been, you are witnessing a pretty historic moment in our friendship, but also ultimately a historic moment in the Jungle Gyms podcast. Would you like to cut yours first? What do you think? Yeah. I'm a diagonal kind of guy. I feel like that's definitely the move in this. Ooh, that is a slimy sandwich.
Gotta press it down.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, gosh. I really like the way it oozes out of the... Here, I'll put it on my plate. I really like the way it oozes out of the back of the sandwich. Ugh, here we go. Have you had one of these recently? I should ask that.
No, it's been
a long time? Cool, so you could be wrong.
Yeah.
I love it. No, I'm here for it. Let's go. I hate to say you kind of got it. I'm mad at myself for feeling that way. There's a lot going on here. But it is kind of good. The crazy part is that the American cheese almost disappears in this. I almost think you could just make a case for peanut butter and Arby's sauce sandwiches. Everyone watching this, I gotta tell you, it's kind of good. He's right. Here's what it is. When what a sentence. When the Arby's sauce mixes with the peanut butter, it almost hits like a Thai peanut sauce note. Like you kind of hit that end. I'm like, oh, that's exotic. Mm-hmm. And the cheese just keeps it moving. Adds a little salt. Now, part of me is like, we got to do this, but better at some point. We got to, if anyone out there is watching, is like
grilled.
Oh man, yeah, no, I would love to.
And extra cheese.
Yeah, I think a little more cheese couldn't hurt. I'm gonna this is a pretty wet bite in the back. Let's find out. The front note of the bite tastes like Christmas. Mm-hmm. I mean, it is a wet, goopy sandwich. This is kind of weird. Look, I don't know if this is going to end up in my traditional sandwich rotation personally.
Yeah.
However, if I were 12 years old, had no access to the stove or oven, I would probably try to make this too. What do you think? This is your... Oh, you already ate the first half.
It's gone. Granted, I haven't had lunch today. So
yeah. It's okay. You're like allowed to... You're allowed to like the sandwich.
Yeah.
It's fine. Yeah, you know what? I'll take another bite just for posterity's sake. I don't know if I feel like the cheese is necessary. I know I said that. But you're onto something with the spicy peanut butter sandwich here. I honestly think, really, part of me is like, I bet if you used a honey peanut butter and this same combo, we get a little more of the sweet for real. It'd be pretty balanced.
maybe some, trying to think.
I'm just trying to think of how many years we've been like, this is going to be terrible. And then it's like, oh, it's actually kind of all right.
You could probably do sprouts.
Yeah, at this rate,
honey peanut butter.
This rate, I'm going to eat whatever terrible thing
and then
you
it's
come
traditionally the Thai sandwich. Yep.
Oh my gosh. And it's really funny because I'll drop this little note at the end and everybody will be like, why didn't you interview him about this? I was like, with you having spent a good amount of time over in Thailand.
Yeah.
But this is a reason to bring you back. Adam, thank you for sharing this.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I feel like Adam both want to encourage all of you, everyone that's reached out to me, let's reschedule. If you're feeling better now, I want you all to come in. I want to try these odd food pairings that you've done. I keep using the word unorthodox because I want to encourage people to come try stuff. But seriously, tell me what weird combos of food you eat that you're like, I don't know about this. I got a good one. I had a buddy. I won't spoil it on the show yet, but I'll tell you as soon as we're done recording.
All right.
I'm really curious about it. Why am I compelled to keep biting it? Is it just because it's here?
Just got to finish it, yeah.
Ah, man, do I have to?
But as Mark said, share your gift with all. Come in, show these food pairings. It's the only way to go.
That's right. We could probably get all the ingredients here at Jungle Gym, so it should be a lot of fun. Adam, welcome to the show.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being part of this.
Absolutely.
I really appreciate it.
Pleasure.
It's great. Yeah, you're a pleasure. Well, that was disgusting, but I haven't laughed that much in a while. You know what? Honestly, I always feel like that's a good sign of the show is that when you're producing and writing and editing and all this stuff and you're watching something back the whole time, if you're like me at least, I'm going, is this good? Is this enjoyable? But I laughed so much while I was editing this. I hope you did too. And I hope you all enjoyed this monstrosity, this nightmare food. Maybe that's what we're going to call it, nightmare food or guilty pleasure. Help me come up with a good name for it because I got a lot. The only feedback I really got was that nobody liked this expression unorthodox food pairing. And I only used it because I didn't want to be mean. I didn't want to be like, this is gross. It's clearly, come on, peanut butter, American cheese, and Arby's sauce. That does not sound like the opposite of gross, right? Anyway. Hey, I want to thank you all as always for watching. We got some fun stuff. So I'm hanging out in the German aisle right now because coming up next week, we've got a little kickoff for some Oktoberfest content. If you're in either store, you can go to our Discovery section. It's right as you enter in Eastgate, and it's right by the cash registers here at Fairfield. We've got a smattering of some German options that you can try out for yourself. It's a really easy way for you to try a few new things that are very popular, and that way, hopefully, you'll come out later and explore the whole area. So, like I said, I've got some Oktoberfest content. I've been doing a lot of Eastgate stuff. So this coming Friday, there's a screening happening at the cinema that is attached to the Eastgate store. My buddy Terry directed it. I'm going to have him on the show next week to talk about his work in film. He's done some really cool stuff. Did a documentary with Pete Rose. He did one with Marty Brenneman. So if you're Cincinnati Reds fans, this is going to be a huge one for you. Terry's just a great guy, great director. And yeah, so many other fun things coming up. I'm doing a lot of Eastgate content, and you know what? Maybe this is another great chance for you to tell you to come out on September 24th. It's a Saturday, and join us for the big spectacular we're doing out there. There's going to be fireworks. I'm pretty sure Phil promised that you could touch a truck out there. I think there might even be a helicopter on site. But we're going to do all kinds of fun stuff, and we'll see how this works out, but I'm thinking about doing a little live podcast / performance there at the Paradise Pavilion. It could be a lot of fun. Either way, I'm going to be hanging out, so if you want to high-five me, I'm a huge high-five fan. So on that, thank you all so much for watching. Thanks for subscribing. If you're watching on YouTube, like, share, and subscribe. And in the meantime, I'll see you out here in the aisles. Thank you. The Jungle Gyms podcast is recorded in the WJJI studio inside Jungle Gyms International Market in Fairfield, Ohio. The Jungle Gyms podcast is produced and hosted by Mark Borison.